Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. You clear, I'm clear. We're here. Let's go. So what? We're gonna get into it. First of all, how's your spirit?
It's good.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to regain some type of positivity towards mine. It's gonna happen. It's gonna get there. But today, we're just gonna jump right into it. And first topic is fear and flaw. All right. So if we
Hmm.
go and we check the definition of fear, an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or threat. When you hear the word fear, what natural definition comes to you?
Scared.
Of what?
Phobia of the
Hmm,
unknown, whatever you have a fear of.
right. But I want to go across what and I'm gonna cite the source. This person name is Zig Ziglar, and they said fear has two meanings. FEAR, right? Acronym.
Hmm.
Either forget everything and run, or face everything and ride. So what we're gonna do is talk about the most common fears that everyone has, right? And
Hmm.
you touched on one, which is the unknown, right? People are afraid of what they don't know or don't understand or can't control.
Hmm. Or even
Uh,
predict.
predict or the fear of falling,
Yeah.
right? The fear of death. But today we're going to tackle our fears. And I'll start. I did some analyzing. I sat around and I thought about things. And I thought about myself and thought about the things that I fear. And I found out I have one of the weirdest, and a lot of people will say like a fear that doesn't make any sense. That is, I'm afraid or I fear positive notoriety from people. Let me let me put it in context for you. When I first started, had the idea to start doing the t-shirts, right?
Hmm.
There wasn't one person who was like, "Nah, man, I'm not sure you want to do that," right? Like, I don't think that's your lane. It was the opposite. I was being encouraged and egged on, like, "Yeah, man, go ahead and do that," and that frightened me. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what that's about, right?
Hmm.
Because I don't fear failing. I'm not afraid to fail because I do understand that there's a lesson in it, right? You can grow from that. So I don't fear it, but I fear succeeding. Now you hearing that, why do you think that is? Not trying to analyze me like someone who's afraid to succeed because they know that they're capable of it.
Hmm.
What do you think that's about?
Self-doubt.
Okay, elaborate more on that. So I'm afraid to succeed because of self doubt.
It's more of sometimes you don't know what you're capable of. And the first thing that come to mind, the biggest example I can give right now is if you're on top of a building and you're trying to hop onto another building, your fear is to fall. You're not gonna make it. And that's how people look at obstacles in their life. If I try to, make the run and try to jump onto this other roof or try to accomplish something else, I might barely even make it where there goes my whole life. The fear of taking chances.
Okay,
A lot
but
of
I just
people
said
get
okay. Good. I'm sorry.
no, a lot of people does get complacent, even with their everyday jobs because of that fear of taking chances.
Right now, say you met someone and you really got to know this person,
Hmm.
and you see how they move, how they maneuver, and you're like, this is a capable person. Like this person can make things happen because the the lack of fear of going into something, you know what I'm saying, uncharted territory, unknown places, right?
Hmm.
And that's me. I'm not afraid to walk into uncharted territory.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Jump into deep water. But what I'm afraid of is actually jumping into the deep water, making it to the bottom, coming back up and speak on that experience.
Hmm.
Or I'm not afraid to step into territories unknown, but I'm afraid to make it out.
No, I
And
get
say,
it.
oh yeah, I walked over there and it was nothing. Yeah, how weird that sounds.
Not really, not if you living in the hood.
But let's not say hood. Okay, let's try to take another angle at it.
Okay.
Say I get hit with a task or
Hmm.
I'm asked to do something I've never done before, and I don't know anything about what I'm being asked to do. Most of the time, people will have that fear and that doubt, like, hey man, I don't know about this. I don't know anything about it. Me, I jump right into it. All right, let's go. Because at the end, I want to have an experience. At the end, I want to have a story about doing this. But I kind of want to fail and just to say, well, I tried versus jumping into it and succeeding. and that plays a part into my flaw, right?
Yeah.
And we can get into that later, but as weird as it sounds, that's my fear. Now we're gonna ask about yours, or do you even have any?
I do. It might be a little bit on the darker side, but I have a fear of dying alone.
Mm. Well, that's another natural human fear too,
Mhm.
dying alone. And I can understand that. I can understand that because who wants to? And then on top of that, it kind of speaks volumes of that person,
Mhm.
right? Ain't they died alone? They ain't had nobody. What kind
Yeah.
of person? You know what I'm saying? What kind of person was they? What kind of man was he? What kind of woman was she to die alone? Nobody wanted to be around her. Nobody wanted to be around him. So yeah, I get that. Is there any do you have any reasoning? Do you know why you're afraid to die alone?
Um, I just think about being an old lady with them Life Alert commercials. I'm falling and I can't get up. And I just think that's kind of sad. I didn't went to a couple of people funerals and they didn't have no people there. So I just
Mm,
thought that'd be kind of a sad life to live, to, die alone, nobody care, and you didn't make no impact on this, in this world. You were
mm,
just there.
right.
Yes, mom.
Mm.
Mom. Mom.
Well, as we hear, you got Bryce, and I don't ever think he's gonna let you die alone.
No, he's not. He's always gonna find me.
Mm, no matter where you go.
No matter where I go.
Does that give you a little comfort?
Yes, but it only lasts for so long.
What?
Yeah.
Because once they get older, they leave the nest.
Well, I don't know about that because you've done your job right. They're gonna be there even after they left the nest.
Yeah, probably.
Hmm.
Who knows?
So with that fear,
Hmm.
it plays a big part in my flaw. And my biggest flaw is being fully committed,
Hmm.
right? That played a
Hmm.
part in relationships, played a part in job opportunities. It played a part in business ventures. It is playing a part today, as a matter
No.
of, started something like this podcast and not being consistent with it.
Hmm.
It's so fun, mom.
Because I feel that I might do good at it. And once I have that feeling, I get scared
Mm-hmm.
that I'm going to succeed versus being afraid that I'm going to fail. So, maybe consciously, but unconsciously, I do things to sabotage it. Or in past relationships, I'll find a way to sabotage the relationship because I want to say that I tried and failed versus I gave it my all and succeeded.
Hmm.
Trying and failing is more acceptable than being consistent and succeeding because consistency equals success no matter what. And that's my problem. That's my flaw. That's my fear. And I've been seeking for answers or reasons or, the courage to relinquish myself from that fear. Does your fear correlates with your flaws?
Um, if it
Or
does,
would
I
it?
don't recognize it yet.
Mm, do you know of any that you have?
I believe that it's a flaw. I believe me caring and giving a crap about people is a flaw because a lot of people are opportunists. Um, a lot of people nowadays don't have empathy.
Oh yeah, that's ooh, hard to
Have
come
you
by
ever
nowadays.
watched them commercials late at night about the feed the children? They always got the little sickly kid with the flies on them.
Hmm.
That those commercials bother me because you don't know if you send your dollar a day is they really feeding the children, you know?
Well, I can tell you now that's a no.
But you're basically playing on people's empathy and care of another person, a stranger at that.
Mhm. And that's their goal.
Hmm.
So whenever you're watching me, you're like, oh my God, that's so sad. Uh, the creators succeeded. The creators of the commercial succeeded.
Ah, that's just evil. But yeah, that is a
But
flaw.
your compassion towards people,
Hmm.
yeah, that can be a flaw for a lot. Uh, Sometimes it get taken advantage of. Most of the time, it
Oh,
gets
all the
taken
time. You
advantage
go to
of.
the store, you see somebody talking about, I got 2 kids and we can't eat. Can I get $20? I mean, they prices inflated, you know? They used to ask for $1.
Oh man, you know what? I was at the train station um yesterday. I was coming back from Maryland visiting my auntie. What
Hmm.
about kids? And I'm waiting to board the train, and there was a woman. She started walking around. My name is this and this. I'm homeless. I have no money. The government took my money. My family stole my money from me, left me out to dry. And she just repeated that as you hear her getting further and further away. But she walked through the whole train station giving that out. And one of the workers who was emptying out trash cans was like, She's here every day, and she makes at least a good 200. That don't have anything to do with fears and flaws, but you know, I just want to piggyback on what you were saying about
Mhm.
people that asking for help that don't really need it. But you're compassionate, so you wanna help, and there you go, being taken advantage of.
Mhm.
You know, yeah. What will happen is, like I said, I'm gonna seek help for this. I don't know where to start, and honestly, exposing this is not a cry out, but if you're listening and you have an understanding of these things, these flaws or these fears that we speak on, you know, give a response on where to go, what steps to take. That's what I want to premise this whole, not the whole episode, but I want this to get started with that because it's been a while since we've recorded an episode,
Mhm.
and we can attribute it to work and personal life and you know getting busy with things, but that's a cop out for me. I know it is, right?
I mean, that's how you
So
look at it, because you got to eat, you got to work, you got to take care of family. That's some things that you can't get around.
yeah, but an hour out of a week, come on, it's very
No,
possible.
it's possible.
You know, very possible. Before I go to sleep, I would lay down and just watch YouTube videos till I fall asleep, right? Or even when
Mhm.
I get off, I'll take time to relax. You know what I'm saying? Just de-stress myself from the day when that time can be spent talking to the ears of our podcast, the listeners.
Hmm. I see that's another flaw that, the general public may have is procrastination.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. But this isn't procrastination. This is a part of my fear that people like listening to us and that they would ask for us to do more. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Show up more, speak more so they can hear us. And maybe gain something from it or, help as far as lending a good word or advice or
Um, I did have somebody that was giving me some advice about, me being kind, and they
Mhm.
put it in a different perspective for me. Um,
Okay.
Instead of calling me somebody nice, kind, or, having empathy, they call me an enabler.
Oh yeah.
To stop being an enabler. Even if you not an addict or anything like that, you're still being an enabler. You're giving this person access to you to take advantage.
Mm.
So if you knew this person was using X, Y, and Z for dope or whatever, would you still give it? So what difference does it make if you're giving because they're hungry versus you giving because, they're doing some type of whatever? You're still
Right.
being an enabler. You're still encouraging it for them to go back and do it again and then come back for you to fix it.
Yeah, and then when you enable, you cripple,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you're 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 basically a crutch
Mm-hmm.
or a walking cane. You're relied upon to keep them moving, to keep them standing up.
So would that be a fear of losing that person? Would you have more of a fear of not helping that person and they go further down the rabbit hole? Do you think that would be a fear?
It can be.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time it is. You know, someone cares so much for someone, they don't want to see them falling further, like you said, down a rabbit hole that they're going. You don't want them to go that far because you're aware of how they can end up or what can happen to them, right? And so you continue to do it, but at the same time, if they're still going down that hole, no, regardless how much you try to help them, that's wasted energy,
Yeah.
right? It's in vain,
And I mean,
right?
this kind of goes across the whole spectrum, though. It's not only drugs, it's about
No, yeah,
codependency.
oh,
It's, you know,
yeah, yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. You crippling them because now they can't do it. They're incapable,
or are they capable or are they taking advantage?
and that's a fine line.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fine line to walk. But we all know the type. Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't care. They don't care what it is. They're not going to put their energy into getting something done. They're just going to rely
Come on.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
well, what I would like to do is before we get started on the next topic,
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring something up.
Okay.
Man, and things that go on in the news, or I don't, I don't like to dwell on or speak on or even think about. But did you hear? We gonna move forward from the fear and flaw. And listeners, please comment, write it in, however you can. Let us know your fear, your flaw, and let us know how we can take steps to relinquish ourselves from them fears and overcome these flaws. But did you hear about the two women who got pregnant in prison?
No.
Not by a CO, but by a transgender prisoner.
Hmm. That's interesting. No, I did not.
How? And I'm not meaning it, biologically. I understand how. Can this person get kicked out of the what is it?
The alphabet crew? I don't
Yeah,
know.
they should be kicked out, right?
I mean, it does kind of cover because it's part of it.
You fought to be treated and identified as a woman, and you trans your gender, but you go to a prison with all women and you knock them up.
I mean, there are transgenders that are not gay. They just like being a woman.
With you saying that makes makes just as much sense as knocking up two women when you telling everybody I'm a woman. I'm so a woman. I ain't no man. I'm so a woman that I'm going to go to the women's prison. Don't put me where the men at. Put me where the women at because I am a woman. But you in there long stroking these chicks and shooting up in them. I'm about fairness, man. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. I just that is horrible. That's just like the male swimmer, well, the transgender swimmer who whoop all these women ass. Is that fair?
I don't know how to answer that because I just think it's not fair that, I guess, yeah, my mind goes somewhere
What about
else.
the whole story? Wait one second. Okay. Yeah, I just don't think it's fair. I don't think you should be able to. Hey,
Hey,
okay, I don't know what happened there. We lost connection, a little technical difficulty, if you will, but we are back and we're going to pick up where we left off. We were speaking on the story about the two women who got pregnant by a transgender, uh, not a cellmate, but a prisoner there. Right. Most of the time, you get a story, it's a male correctional officer that's doing the deed. But this time, it is a man who said, "I am no longer a man. I am a woman. You're gonna call me a woman. Matter of fact, you're gonna put me in a women's prison because I'm such a woman." But then goes and get two women pregnant. And in the midst of this this subject, I speak on fairness, man. Do you think that's fair? In your honest opinion? Because you're a progressive thinker and you're all woman. What is your take on this?
That when they made these laws, they made those laws for transgenders to go into um these type of prisons for protection, because they knew if they would have went this person would have went into a man's prison, they it would have been more crucial.
But
But I
how?
mean,
Because if you think about it, you went in there, even though you are a man, you get put in a man's facility, but you identify as a woman, right?
mhm.
You're a woman, so you should be able to get along with with the males in there because that's their thing, right? Like
Yeah,
at
but
the
that's still a luxury that they didn't expect, that, that's still a luxury.
for who?
Whoever's down with, if that's their type, if that's their type of person. You know, some people are there for life, and that's the
Hmm.
closest to a woman that they can get to, you know?
Hmm.
So they have all the criterias of a woman. What you think is going to happen to that person? They're going to get hurt.
Explain. I'm trying to get a grip on what you're saying here.
Basically, in a nutshell, you look like a woman, you can get raped like a woman. Some of these people are in there for life. Um, some transgenders are modified, if you want to put it in that way, where they have all the equipment as a woman, and you're in
Right.
a.
And now that part, I'm not going to try to speak too intelligently about the story, right? Because I didn't go in depth.
Mhm.
So I don't know if this transgender male, female, I'm not sure if they went through, well, we know the procedure that they didn't go through, but yeah, I want to know if they went through the other procedures. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
with the breast or, the face modification and things of that nature, right? Because the reason why I said I couldn't get a grip on what you're saying, when in the prison system, there are men that, I'm gonna be honest, they choose to say, you know what, I'm the female in here, right? They belong to somebody.
Mhm.
They don't have a choice, especially if they're going to be in there for a while. They don't have a choice, and that makes them protected by, their counterpart. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So think about a transgender, like they're not forced to take on the role as a woman. That's what they wanted. So if they're approached by a male in prison, it's not much of a resistance there. At least I think it shouldn't be, because that's the choice you made. I'm a woman. I'm in this prison with men. So woman, men link up. You know what I'm saying? But you choose to be in a woman's prison, and who knows how it happened. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know if this person took advantage of these women forcefully or it was mutual, right? All I'm saying is, how do you get to say I'm a woman and then you pipe down these women and get them pregnant? Should never relinquish you of saying that you're a woman, because that y'all didn't have lesbian sex.
Or maybe
You
they
pi-
did.
how explain that part? Because that person had the real pole, no strap on. Matter of fact, the pole was working and it shot up and got two women pregnant. I was speaking on the sports, right? I don't think
No,
it's
I do
fair.
understand.
I don't think it's fair. You join a sport and you're still have your manly chromosomes and you're winning in all these contests against women. Like the swimmer, you know what I mean, that just won.
Mm-hmm.
Or the MMA fighter. Right? I understand you are transgender and you know you identify yourself as woman, but you're a man beating on women professionally.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the rules allow it to happen, but I just don't see it as fair, man. That's not fair.
I understand where you're coming from.
But like I said, I don't know the full story. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really gonna dive and try to, learn more about it. Just on surface level, that's just horrible to me. That's it. I just want I just want to trip out on that when I saw that, man. That just threw me off. Like, what is happening in this world, man?
Mom,
And
here go, Mom.
I'm laughing, but
Tell us the word, Mom. Evolve your trail. Donut, enough, busy, zebra, word, though, bosses.
Good job.
Alright.
he got his words.
He got his words.
Yeah. Now we laughed about. Well, I did. So it's just it's a joke, man. It's a joke to society, man. That's wild. But I want to touch on something that you spoke on.
Mm-hmm.
You said, when is a joke no longer a joke? Right? Because there's a running joke with someone. And when is that joke the truth? They tell us that all jokes has truth in it.
Mm-hmm.
But when is that truth exposed? When does it become exposed? Because I like what you said,
Mm-hmm.
right? We ain't gonna put nobody out there, but explain it. Explain the running joke that you was telling me about.
Mm, there's a joke where this couple think it's really funny about, somebody getting pregnant by another person. And they just think it's so funny. Um, but what happens if that person actually got pregnant by that person? Would it still be a joke? Or is that just a low key way of that person telling them that eventually it's going to happen?
Hmm. Okay. Now, when is it not a joke? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, that's like a running joke, right? It's like an inside joke between people. Do you think that that can one day happen. That little joke coming to fruition.
Possibly, or it could be insecurity. Oh, I know you talking to your little girlfriend. You
Mm.
know, I know you had that encounter once or twice in your lifetime that
Yeah,
somebody is low key joking but accusing you of something.
yeah. You know the whole oh, I know you got a work husband. Unless she laughing right now. Ain't that a no? But
No, I've never heard of nothing like that, but okay.
you never heard of the work husband?
Oh yeah, when you got your little work boo. I got you.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's funny. It's supposed to be jokingly. Do we actually know, or you know what I mean? Like, is work husband handling husband duties while at work? So,
When it's a joke, not
what
a
does it
joke.
take to reveal if the joke has truth to it?
So what makes this person your work husband? Are you attracted to this person? Is this person attracted to you? Is this person next person in line? Or it's just some friendly playing around?
Well, you know, the running joke for work husband is, you know, your girl or you know your woman. She got, you know, at her job. There's a male who's really nice to her. She's nice to him. You know, and it can, you know, it can be innocent. You know, they go on lunch together, or say they work at an office. Say you work at an office, and this dude, I thought about you today. I brought you some lunch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, your cubicle look a little dead. You ain't got no decorations. I brought you these flowers. Or what if you're a woman and you get picked up by your man, and then for whatever reason he can't pick you up, but work husband, like, oh, you ain't got a ride, I'll take you home. It's so innocent though, because no, I don't want nothing from you. We coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
But how long does that last before she goes, you know what? As nice as he is, he deserves something. Right? Now, I'm not saying every woman does this, but there are women that do. We don't speak on all women, but there are women that do.
I mean, there are people that's married now that used to be coworkers.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like those type of running jokes. When are they not funny? When it's not funny anymore. And how long does it last before the joke stops and gets cut off, or before the joke actually becomes a reality?
Or what about the mean jokes?
I love that you said that, because those are more has more of a presence than a running joke. The mean ones,
Mm-hmm.
because oh man, you know, I'm just playing with you. But we all know we lived on this earth long enough to know that those type of jokes have malice behind it. But the question is, where does it derive from? Does it derive from from envy, right? Or does it derive from just pure, like, I just don't like this person, but I don't want this person to know that I don't like them. So what I'm gonna do is throw jabs every chance I get to make me feel better. Because I've met and I've known people like that. They'll say some hurtful things, just back it up. Man, you the homie, man. You know I don't mean that shit. Or you know I'm just fucking with you, right? Are you though? When you say it, man, it may be a joke, but boy, that sounds like that came from your gut. How do we expose these truths, though? Or do we take it with a grain of salt and just move forward and not dwell on it?
Usually it comes with who's saying it. If it's your boss or, basically a superior, one of your parents, sometimes you take it with a grain of salt. But if it was just some random person, yeah, you're gonna speak your mind.
Hold on, you can't speak your mind with someone superior like a parent.
Um, it depends. My parents is old school. Anything I say, it was like, don't talk back. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's that karate chop in your throat. But I
Right.
mean, these new age parents, they may, some kids may actually get away with it.
Okay, because if a parent is being real nasty with me, but it's all love,
Supposedly.
supposedly. Like, you supposed to know when there's love or there's malice behind it. You know what I mean? We try to get to, how do we know? Like the joke about the work husband, or the running joke. Like, okay, say if you with someone and you're an introvert and your counterpart is, he likes to get out, he likes to go do things. And I'd rather be at the house. We can have fun here at the house. And he say some shit like, all right, I just go get Katie. Katie down. And that becomes like a little running joke between you two. Like, when does the when does Katie show up?
Or is Katie actually real?
That's what I mean. Like, when does she show up? Right? So many no, I don't want to can turn into, you know what? Let me go call Katie. For real. And then we out having a good old time. Now let's flip it a little bit.
Hmm.
And let's put, the shoe on the other foot. And your man is the introvert. He don't like to go out. He like to just stay at home. You know what I mean? And he's comfortable and happy, and he's solid being at the house. And y'all can find some fun things to do at home. We ain't got to go out all the time. And you have all right, well, I just called Kevin, but it's a joke. Ha 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 ha. We still sit at the house and we watch TV and everything, right? Let's say one day Kevin shows up. And his name might not be Kevin, but that one friend that's willing to go out and have a good time, you call on him and y'all go. Innocent as it might be, the joke became real.
Mm-hmm.
Can your man be mad at you?
Yes, they'll find a way.
Find a way. No, seriously though, because
You forewarned them, right?
right, it's like I want to do that. I want to go out. I want to go out, but you never do. So I found somebody that does. You know, you got to ask those questions like, well, was she owed that night out? Right? Was she deserving of going out and having fun? Now, mind you, we're not talking about no kind of intercourse. We're just talking about she finally said, I'm calling so and so, and we're going to go and have a good time because you don't ever want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And as a man, the man finds out, is he allowed to be upset? You know what I mean? It's hard, right? Because he can be upset and be like, wait. I thought we just be playing around. We just be joking. You really went out with somebody? What kind of shit is this? Or can that man be comfortable enough with himself to be like, you know what? You always want to do something and I always turn you down. I understand. Because that's you. Yes, you like to get out, you like to go do things, and I didn't do it. So I can't be mad at you. If it's innocent like that, all they did was just went to the movies because it's a movie she really wanted to see, and it's only out in theaters. And she don't like going to the movies by herself because she might as well be at the house. So she called on Kevin, and they went, and they had a good time. And she came straight home. Now the man might have a right to speculate on a lot of things, but at the end of the day, he can be upset, but he can't. But the question is, how long does that running joke last before it becomes the truth?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We may not never know the we might not be able to pinpoint how long it lasts. So the next question, I guess, is can it last forever?
No.
The running joke, yeah, the running joke shouldn't last. It can't last forever.
Because eventually it's just gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you saying eventually it's just gonna pass over. It's not gonna come come to a reality.
Because it's either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. Something is gonna come to pass. You're not gonna be saying the same joke for 20 years.
That's very true. I wish I could I would like to know that. I would like to know the time frame. If that was the case with you and y'all have this little running joke, how long would you give them before you make it happen?
It depends the running joke. It depends on the running joke. If it's one of them mean running jokes, it's not gonna last too long. If
Yeah,
it's
that's
an
gonna have to get checked.
insecure running joke, like, "Oh, you going over there to meet George?" That's not gonna last too long. Because eventually, in my head, I'm not speaking for every other woman out there. I'm just speaking for me.
Mhm.
If you're gonna accuse me for something, I might as well do it.
Ooh, you one of them. Oh, oh, run, run. No, play. No, but you know what, man? I'm not saying this, because we're talking. I'm being honest. Like, in hindsight, that happens, and
Mhm.
that person kind of brought it on themselves.
Because how
I
long
might
you
as
gonna sit
well.
there and be like, you know what, honey, I'm not doing nothing. Sorry, honey, I'm not doing anything. I don't know why you keep playing like that. You know I'm not doing anything, and eventually you get annoyed. You be like, fuck it. He gonna say
Like,
it anyway.
do you tell them, or do it become a running joke to you now? Like,
It
who over there with
depends.
George? I did, Mom.
Sorry, gotta go. See you when I see you.
Oh man, that's scary. If y'all listening, man, y'all better knock them running jokes off. Okay, y'all gotta stop. Because eventually it just might happen, my man or my lady. It just might happen. The accusing running joke, the I'm going to if you don't running joke, right? The mean running joke. If something gonna happen to you, you keep that up. So let's be careful out there. Let's be mindful out there with these running jokes, because one day that joke become the truth. When that happens, you got to face the reality of, does it warrant you being upset, or can you blame the person? You know, but let's just, for the sake of quality relationships, if y'all listening, man, let's stop it with the jokes, because eventually that person will do it, or could do it, and you can't be mad. I don't play around with those type of jokes. Murphy's Law. Now I want to tackle something real quick. Let me ask you a question. Like, have you ever worked a job and I'm pretty sure you have. You worked a job and then it turns into maybe like school was. There's certain cliques that hang around each other, and for whatever reason, they don't hang with other people, even though you all work for the same company.
Yeah, I've been at a job like that.
And within that, have you ever came across those people who try to bring either normal life or the little quote unquote street mentality to the workplace?
There's always one.
It's always one. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and act like that's never been me. Because that's been me a few times. And it caused me to lose a few jobs too. It's a ignorant mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
For, as you were speaking earlier, like a superior to talk down on you for you make a mistake or you effing up. I used to get so blowed up in the chest on something. Hey man, you don't talk to me like that, man. Change your tone. And now I'm trying to be, or I'm being confrontational with the superior.
I mean, sometimes they be throwing low blows because they feel like they in a bigger position now. You're just not gonna talk to me any kind of way.
That's true. But at the same token, you're working for somebody. So it comes with the territory. See, you running your own thing, you know, of course people got to be mindful. But at the same time, they don't, because it's a 9 to 5.
I mean, but some people take you to that area where it's like, you know what? Fuck this job.
Yeah, I've been there. I've done that. Now I'm indeed searching for solutions. All the while being broke and prideful. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's ignorant, man. I bring that up because, you know, I seen it at my job. People want to click up, and if I don't click up with your people or the people you kick it with, then I'm immediately an enemy to you.
That's why you don't talk to nobody. Don't talk to
Yeah,
nobody. They can't put you in no position.
no, for sure that. You know, I'm never gonna be put in a position at a job versus the position that I'm working. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
it exists. And that's what I meant by quote unquote street mentality, because it's not real street mentality, but they try to bring it there. Like, how are you an enemy to me? Do you know what a real enemy is? You know what I'm saying? When I see you, it's on site. That's an enemy. But at work, you ain't no enemy because we're not gonna fight at work.
Yeah,
Just
but
because
I
I
done
see
seen
you.
some real situations where they straight gang banging. I'm like, how did you get this job? Was you in the interview like, you know, whoop whoop this and whoop whoop that? I mean, or did you wait to after the interview then start talking? You
Oh
know.
yeah, you had to wait till you got the job first. That's what I'm saying.
Like, how you sitting here gang banging in the middle of work?
That's what I'm saying. We bring that mentality to the job, man. It's somebody else's name on them checks, man. And it took for me to become a grown ass man to realize that. Because at one point in time, I was that dude. I'm
So you be
challenging
straight gang
people.
banging on
No,
your
not gang banging,
coworkers.
but you know, I'm challenging people because I'm want to be all prideful. My hey, man, you better watch who you talking to. Her. No, it's like what you bringing that to work? It's silly, man. It's ain't no big topic to really touch on, but we gotta stop that. We gotta knock that out. To them just got your name on it. You do what you want. You can say you can speak how you want. It's your business, it's your company. That's yours. But if it ain't, you gotta move quietly and accordingly, man.
I mean,
Dude gonna tell me I'm playing both sides because I don't kick it. Or you know what, to be honest, there's no kicking it. we see each other at most 20 minutes a day. The rest of the day, we out and about.
Hmm. Unless you just stuck in the office with somebody.
Yeah, so there's no space for that kind of thinking. And to old boy, if you listening, man, I feel bad for you. I don't, I don't, I don't know what it's like at home. Maybe you got pent up frustrations, and you take it out at work. You know what I mean? I just feel bad for the dude because it's never gonna go where he think it could go, or where he might want it to go. It's never gonna go there. But yeah, we gotta stop it. The only reason I say that is because, like I said, I used to do it, and I think back on it, and I'm just like, that was ignorant. That was just some dumb thinking, a dumb thought process, a dumb way to walk around at a 9 to 5. There's no enemies at work, everybody. Okay, because when you walk into work, you're not gonna take off on that person on site. You're gonna roll your eyes. You're gonna not look at them. You're gonna not acknowledge them, but you're gonna continue on with your day. So that's not a real enemy. All right, that's just somebody you ain't feeling, but you don't deal with them for your whole day. They're not a part of your real life. They're
Unless they
just that.
messing with your work, boo. That's a whole different.
Better stay away from my work husband. That's funny.
Hmm.
But I just want to say I'm going to overcome this fear and grow bigger than this flaw that I have. Because I've never had nobody tell me that I wasn't going to be anything. You hear the stories like, man, teachers and so told me I wasn't going to be shit. And that motivated them to prove them wrong. That was never told to me by anybody. Everybody always encouraged me to make it happen and believe that I could. And I would let them down. Because of my fear of meeting their expectations. Y'all got to let me know what I got to do to get past that. Because I'm working on it. And you guys are no longer just going to be waiting or expecting to see an episode and then not see it or hear it. That's ending. That's the first step, is being bold enough to say, no, we gonna keep this going no matter what. And this was personal. I'll admit that. But this is also therapy, because I'm getting it out. And at the same time, I'm developing and learning, you know what I mean, from these sessions. So as always, Queen Naomi, you are appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you.
And anything you want to get out there to the public, to the people, that you want to say? Anything they need to know?
I think we didn't set it all for today. We leave the rest for a later cast.
Okay.
But give us your thoughts, your responses.
Now I'm gonna say this too. if I offended anybody with the transgender talk, I just want to say I meant that, and you can't jump into these sports with your broad men shoulders and beat these women in sports. It's not fair. You can't call yourself a woman and then go to a woman's prison and long stroke these prisoners and get them pregnant. Okay,
That
that
was an
makes you a
apology
man.
or a disclaimer?
That was not a apology. She went to a women's prison and did what men would do. Damn, ain't no more women around here. Boy, I'm getting something. I might shoot up the club. Who knows? It's just not right. All right, so I just want anybody to know that if you felt some kind of way about me saying that, you're not gonna get an apology from me, man. Not for that. I'm just sorry. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. I love y'all. I really appreciate y'all. And you know how we do it here, man. We don't have all the answers. We have all the banter, right? We are rightly wrong and wrongly right. All perspectives are welcome. All opinions are welcome. No judgment. It's gonna be met with understanding. Because whatever you say, you're right if it's coming from your heart. All right? But you wrong if you shooting up the club and these women and you say you a woman. We go.